Hey everyone, we are about to pull back the curtain on some absolutely wild claims about Donald Trump's White House. But first, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so we all see the public version of politicians, right? The rallies, the press conferences. But what's going on behind closed doors? Well, author Michael Wolff dropped a book that painted a very specific and kind of wild picture of Trump's private world, and it caused a huge firestorm. So let's break down exactly what he claimed.
All right, first up, the inner sanctum. We're starting in the most private space of all, the White House bedroom. And according to Wolff's account, Trump laid down some rules that, well, didn't go over too well. So, check this out. The very first thing he allegedly did, installed a brand new lock on his bedroom door. And you might be thinking, okay, so what? A guy wants some privacy. But oh boy, the Secret Service was not having it. Yeah, turns out that's a huge security no-no. I mean, it makes sense, right? The Secret Service needs to be able to get in there at a moment's notice. So this one little lock, according to Wolff, kicked off a major showdown. And there you have it, straight from Wolff's account. They actually took it off, demanded that it be taken off. A direct clash over the rules. But believe it or not, the lock wasn't the only strange story to come out of the private residence.
Okay, get ready for this one. Apparently, there was another rule. Don't touch the sheets. So the story goes, the housekeeping staff did their job. They changed the bed sheets. A totally normal thing to do. Well, not in this White House, apparently.
According to Wolff, he had a fit, just a total meltdown. And the reason? Wolff says he has no idea. It was a huge incident all over laundry.
Wild, right? Okay, so let's move out of the bedroom and into the office.
Next section, the Oval Office bus station. Yeah, you heard that right. Wolff's book paints a picture of the Oval Office that is, let's just say, not what you'd expect.
So forget those images of quiet, serious meetings. Wolff describes it as like a bus station. It's just filled with people. Basically, a chaotic, packed room, kind of like Grand Central during rush hour.
And we're not talking a handful of advisors. He claims there could be 20, 30, or even more people just crammed into the Oval Office. They were apparently bringing in extra chairs just to fit everybody. But here's the kicker. Wolff says these weren't really meetings. It was more like a one-man show, a long monologue where everyone else was just a captive audience, kind of stuck there while he talked and talked. And that's a perfect segue into our next section, the man who never listens. This gets to what Wolff describes as a really core part of Trump's personality. Wolff really stresses this point. He says this is not just gasbaggery, there is no breath. So he's not just saying the guy's chatty. He's describing this constant, nonstop stream of words where nobody else can even get a word in. And his theory is basically that whatever is going on in Trump's head, all the confusion, chaos, churning, it just comes straight out of his mouth. Unfiltered, unedited. It just pours out. And it doesn't stop. Which, of course, leads to the big question, does he actually listen to anyone? And according to Michael Wolff, the answer is a hard no. He claims conversations were totally one-sided, that it was basically impossible for anyone, even his own advisors, to give him input. Okay, so that's the story according to Wolff's book. A pretty wild picture, right? But what did the White House have to say about all this? Let's get into their response because, spoiler alert, they did not hold back.
So Trump's communications director, Cheung, came out absolutely swinging. He didn't just say this is false. He said Wolff lives in an alternate universe and he completely fabricates lies. Oof. And believe me, he was just getting started.
It got personal and it got aggressive fast. This is not your typical PR-scrubbed political statement. He called Wolff, quote, a sad, pathetic cuck who was a parasite. And for the grand finale, Cheung claimed Wolff had a severe and debilitating case of Trump derangement syndrome that has rotted his peanut-sized brain. Wow. So yeah, we've got two completely different versions of reality here. And all of this really leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? When it comes to a president, where's the line between private habits and their public persona? Do stories about locks and bedsheets actually matter?
Or is it all just a distraction from the stuff that really affects our lives, like policy?
So, what do you think? Is this stuff fascinating insight into a leader's character? Or is it just pointless gossip? I really want to know your take, so drop it in the comments below.
And that's a wrap. If you enjoyed this breakdown, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. And make sure you're subscribed for more deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.